Yeah. It's a full-time job with no benefits. Too many egos, too many fits. Count money with a side of stress.
Hey, what up, y'all? It's your boy, Still Khalil, back with another video. So today, you know what I'm saying? I want to shout out to all the Clingiest, first of all. Y'all know what I'm talking about. What I call my friends and the twins that's locked in, by the way. Today we got Jew Almighty talking about the cringiest alpha male. Got even worse. Now, y'all don't know I'm a male. Not Joanna, man. Y'all do not be understanding my jokes. If you don't get these jokes I be saying, either... So, sometimes they don't be funny. I will admit that. But they're always funny. But you might just be too young sometimes, and that's alright too. Alright? So, but still, if you already subscribed into the tribe, and you don't get some of the jokes, get some of the uncles and aunties to help you out. Ask in the comment section. I promise you, we will help you out. We'll get you right. You know what I mean? But anyway, so we get into this. I don't like the alpha male shit for the main reason is like it's too much. Like motherfuckers just be like, you gotta be like this or you ain't a real man. You gotta wear your hair like this. You can't do this. You can't have no dreads. You can't look like this. You got body piercings. You got a piercing in your lip. You gay. You this. It's like it's just too much. And it's like, are y'all all right? Because if you really are secure in your masculinity and who you are as a man, I don't think you would be looking like every other nigga that says the same thing as you. I think you would have your own individual style, your own individual ideology. I think you would say your own things. You know what I'm saying? If you truly are an alpha male. But I digress. Let's get to the video. Shout out to Jew Almighty for making content so we can react to it. Let's go.
As we actually escape the fucking matrix, I go to the bank. He's like, you keep $1 million in this account? We give you $1 million. Now I keep $1 million in there. I get another $1 million. I buy a real estate property for $4 million. We're falling.
What?
First of all, no. That's not how the bank... Look, I want y'all to aspire to get money, right? I want all of us to go out here and get the millions, illions, all the trillions, the billion, and killions. You know what I'm saying? But that's not how interest rates work. Look, all right, so we talking shit about how the rich get richer, right? And we talking about how, you know, poor people need some things and all this. If that is, in fact, how it worked, the rich would be so much richer. They would be way more richer than they are if they could just put $1 million in an account and get another $1 million just for putting $1 million in an account. I don't think I understand. Like, you don't want life to work like this. Because I would just put $1 trillion in the account and get $1 trillion. Like, the niggas with the most money will always still have the most. Like, there will be no possible way for you to come up at all doing anything ever in life. Period. I'm like, if this is how life works. So you don't want it to work like this. Work hard. Save your money. Invest well. That's not how this. Don't aspire to be this nigga because he's not real. That motherfucker is not real. You understand?
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
It's been a couple months since I talked about the cringiest alpha male yet, Vincent Fisher.
Guys, I didn't drop out of high school because I was dumb or I didn't want to do it. I dropped out of high school because if I had to sit behind a desk and work a corporate job the rest of my life, I'd shoot myself in the head. I mean that.
You know the dude with the crazy Jerry curl that says stuff like this?
If you're a young adult, the stupidest thing you could do is put all your effort and energy into a high school sport.
All to try to get desperate men looking for a better way to buy his overpriced coaching programs with promises that they'll be making millions of dollars by becoming an online coach themselves. And while he's still been...
So what is his goal? Is he trying to get people to stop going to college and stop succeeding in like basketball, soccer, football, and tennis and shit like that and just to join his courses and become a nigga on the internet talking about how you don't need to go to high school? Now I dropped out of college for the same reason he just said, but not high school because I realized you definitely need a high school degree, high school diploma. That's why you need a high school diploma, nigga. But look, I realized you definitely need that shit to move through life. You need these core things. Outside of that, I will agree with him on some of the things. Like, you don't need to have that high level of shit to do basic shit that most niggas gonna do anyway. That's why I be saying, like, a lot of niggas have ruined their lives by going to college. Because you was never destined to be shit. You was supposed to be like a regular, not like that. I don't want nobody to take it bad. I'm saying, like, you went to school to be a doctor, right? But you're not gonna be a doctor. No, like, that's not your life path. And it's not like you can't do it. Oh no, he's not smart enough. That's just not what's gonna make you happy. It's not your purpose in life. It's not the thing that's gonna drive you to keep succeeding and thriving and surviving and shit, right? It's not gonna. That's not gonna be the thing that, like, makes your heart, grow 10 sizes, whatever the fuck. So you're ruining your life by going to college right now for that, when that is not what you are planning on doing. That's why I be like, don't allow, the bag, or what your mama say, or what these motherfuckers want you to do, any of these things to influence how you are moving your life right now. If you're going to college, if you're trying to do shit, because I promise you, they're not going to care, and they're not going to be there when it's time for you to deal with the consequences from your actions. It's all going to be on you. So if you do go to school to be a doctor, and you spend all this money getting all these loans, and you don't end up being a doctor, and you just work at McDonald's, or there's nothing wrong with working at McDonald's. Right? I used to work at McDonald's. There's nothing wrong with this. But you don't need a doctorate degree in medicine to work for McDonald's. Do you understand? Do you see where we're going? Like, sometimes we don't need to do what we be doing. We just be doing it so we can say we did it, but that ain't what we supposed to be doing. Okay.
Rapping about absolute nonsense, a whole lot of motivational grindset babble. He's been using a new strategy to sell his overpriced coaching programs, which I think is interesting. Because if the majority of comments under his post are anything to go by, Mr. Fake It Until You Make It might actually start making some of the money that he claims to bring in.
Be, do, have. That's the formula for success. So if you want to become successful, like let's say your goal is to become a millionaire, you need to become the millionaire now. Take the actions that millionaire would take now, and then eventually you'll get the results of that millionaire. So whoever it is you want to be, just act like that person, whether people are watching or not. And eventually, it's going to become you. That's what it was for me. I acted like a millionaire long enough, and I became one.
But I'm Jew.
I don't know if that's a good, you know what I'm saying? I get the science behind that, right? There is some physical science behind that. There's some, like, secret science behind that as well. Some dark energy science behind that too, that it does work in somewhat of that manner. But again, this has to be your life force. It has to be something that you're supposed to do. That's the cheat code to get out of the imposter syndrome. That is not what you do when you don't know what you're supposed to be doing. That's not what you do to find what you're supposed to be doing. That's what you do to get rid of the I ain't supposed to be doing that type shit when you know you are. I don't think we can understand, but it's all good. We gonna keep moving. If y'all do understand, hit the like, share, subscribe, comment. You're a colleague now.
Welcome to the channel. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to sub. Now, let's get into it. So when I say he has a new strategy, this is what I mean. He always kind of showed off the things that he had, cars, whether they were leased or not, condo, whether it was rented or not. But now he's actually putting price tags on things, like how much his haircut supposedly costs. And he does that on just about every post, again, to sell his lifestyle, to get people to buy in on him and his image, to sell.
That's one reason why I don't like niggas that do that shit. Like, and women be following. They're like, oh, he spend this, he do this. Ooh, he got this, y'all. Did you hear about this? Ooh. Most of these niggas do not be having that shit. They don't be doing that shit like that. And if you gotta lead with how much everything costs, one, the price of everything and the value of nothing. Because all the time they be saying this shit, they be overpricing everything. They were like, I paid $5 million for this. It's not worth $5 million. You got ripped off. So you're bragging about being ripped off. You're happy to be finessed. I know some niggas in the hood would love to meet your ass. You a walking lick, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You just love overspending for shit. That's your. I spend more than it's worth. They don't do shit for me. That ain't what I want to aspire to be, nigga. I used to hear that shit all the time in the hood. Nigga, I'll spend this, I'll spend, and then I'll spend not that and get the same shit. And how the fuck you get that, nigga? That shit fake. You a bitch ass. You ain't even got, you didn't spend it, you didn't. Why does it matter so much to where you gotta be this angry about me having the same thing you have for way less money? When that mean that shit ain't worth that much, huh? If this shit I got is fake, but it looked just as real as your shit, and I didn't have to spend as much money. Do you understand what I'm saying? So any nigga that be bragging about how much money he spent, either he is spending that much money and he's stupid, or he lying. Okay? Let's stay with me now. Let's go.
Courses or his coaching program. But the one thing that's interesting is we never see receipts. We never see any paperwork on anything. I mean, at one point, he says he's actually making $250,000 a week. No proof, no evidence, no receipts. Just take his word for it. The one thing I will say is there's a big difference in the comments from when I talked about Vincent Fisher a couple months ago. Everybody was calling him a fake. They were calling his lifestyle fake, saying he didn't make the money that he claims to make. But now, a couple months later, I mean, lit. Every now and then you will see a naysayer, which I just think is really interesting. Tate 2.0, actually calling it out. Because he is, just like all these alpha males are, just using the Tate image and strategy to sell whatever courses, coaching programs, or memberships that they have. He said it himself. He will literally fake it until he makes it. And if he never makes it, he's just going to keep faking it. Best way to celebrate another 60K day for my online coaching income. At no point does he ever share receipts that he made 60K in a day. He could have easily put that in his post. He could have easily taken a screenshot of whatever app or studio he uses. We see it all the time with streamers. DDG, Kai, they put up how much money they made in a month. We do not see that with Vincent Fisher. We only see him spending money as proof that he makes money, which you can do all of this on credit. This is not proof that he makes the money that he claims to make. And that's the art of being an alpha male. You just have to convince enough people to buy your courses, and that's what Vincent Fisher is doing with these posts. He's showing a lifestyle that people are buying into, especially young males. But you can do all of this on debt and credit with leases and renting. None of this is proof that Vincent Fisher makes the money that he claims to make. And now we're getting into the post that's really funny to me, where Vincent Fisher is 100% talking to himself as if he's in a podcast or being interviewed, and he's not. We see a lot of alpha males do this, set up like they're talking on a podcast or being interviewed, but they're not. They're 100% talking to themselves. But I guess for them, that's the best way to give them authenticity.
First of all, hold on. I do this, but I don't be acting like it's somebody else. Like, people know it's me and my company that will have a podcast, and I'm just interviewing myself because I'm the host and the artist, because I'm me, and I can do that. I'm still Khalil. So I want that to be understood, first of all, before y'all be like, that's what he be doing. Nah, baby, that's not what I be doing. Y'all know it's just me. If you don't, then that's your problem. Because I quite literally always keep saying, that's why I go by Still Khalil, because everything I be doing is still me. Y'all be looking for the other nigga behind the screen. You looking for the white man. Looking for this. Ain't no motherfucker white man. It's me and my brother maybe one time. We good now, right? Okay.
Or authority with the public, as if they're talking to somebody else. And on top of that, he's starting to position himself the way that Andrew Tate did, talking about the system or getting out of the system, the same way that Andrew Tate always talks about the Matrix. All these alpha males continue to use the same Andrew Tate playbook.
Everybody has this depressionary period where you're like, fuck, bro, am I really in this system? Is this the rat race? Is this what I'm destined for? And then I got angry as fuck, right? My mom, she's like, Vince, you have to stay with your brothers. You're not getting a job. You dropped out of school. Obviously, I was useless. You know what I mean? It wasn't her fault.
But 9 times out of 10, if you don't finish high school or get your GED, you will end up working minimum wage jobs for your entire life. That is not a path to follow.
So I stayed with my brothers. They had a 2-bedroom apartment. I'm on a mattress on the floor. They're like, yo, Vince, get in the gym with us. Here's some mass gainer. Here's some pre-workout. Let's get a fucking pump. And I'm hearing all these gym terms. I'm taking pre-workout. I'm fired. Bro, within that first year, I put on 60 pounds, bro.
Putting on 60 pounds without the sauce, even with new gym goer gains, is highly unlikely.
I went from 135 pounds malnourished, fucking no water, to 193.
60 pounds a year, natty. Yeah, okay, bro. Exactly. Don't lie to these young kids. It's impossible to gain 60 pounds of muscle in a year without steroids. All these...
This is why we have a lot of these motherfuckers be making these kids feel bad about themselves. So you got like 16-year-olds trying to kill themselves because they don't got $1 million and they ain't got a big buff body. And the girls be wanting the niggas to look like this at size 18 and this shit like, bro, y'all gotta let niggas relax. Let niggas come into their shit. Like for me, I'm 32. When I was 16, 18, even 20 something, I didn't even look this good. I look good now because I came into my shit. You know what I'm saying? I was a nerd. Still a nerd. You know what I'm saying? I won't be like, I'm trying to hate on nerds. But I came into this. You gotta give yourself a chance to, come into your looks. Don't ruin your life before it begins, okay? I love y'all.
Stories, all these tall tales is all to build an image for him to sell programs and courses to people trying to come up in whatever way they can. Some guys are following him because they want to get in shape and they hear he gained 60 pounds of muscle. Some guys see he says he's making $60,000 a day or $250,000 a week. So they follow him and buy into the image and buy the courses. This is why I make videos on these alpha males, because they are selling an entire generation bullshit dreams that will never come true for them. And it's really predatory. Vince talking to himself. We've unlocked financial freedom. I'm not telling you this to flex. I'm telling you this shit so you can visualize the experience yourself. No, he's telling you this to sell a course, which is why he has DM Mentor for online coaching mentorship at the bottom of every post.
Boys, we actually escaped the fucking matrix. I go to the bank because I need my wire limit raised. I'm like, I've sent too many wires already. I have like 5 other people I need to pay. I'm like, what can I do? They're like, okay, look, Vincent, you have a student checking account. He's like, you processed 600,000 in the last month on a student checking. This isn't gonna work.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Bro, this is how I know his entire fan base is kids and he doesn't even know what he's talking about. You expect us to believe that he's made all this money, he's made millions of dollars, and he's processed $500,000 in the last month through a student checking account. You're telling me this idiot isn't even smart enough to lie and say he has a business account? Vincent Fisher is bullshit, and this story proves it.
He's like, we need to upgrade your account to premium. I was like, okay, upgrade the account. This dude upgrades my account. My banking app turns gold. They send me a fucking digital ledger that I have to fucking press as a button every time I send a wire. And he's like, you keep money in this account, we give you money. He's like, you keep $1 million in this account, we give you $1 million. He's like, I've worked here for 40 years. Rich people don't use their own money. He's like, so whenever you have that money, you come here, I give you money. I'm like, what the fuck? We fucking beat the system. Now I keep $1 million in there. I get another $1 million. I buy a real estate property for $4 million. We're fucking balling.
He's doing this ridiculous accent. You're telling me the banker upgraded his student checking account to a premium personal account? That makes absolutely no sense at all, especially if you're running a business. It takes like $200-300 to go get your LLC, get your EIN number, which is like your tax number for your business, and then open a business checking and savings account. And depending on your own personal credit, because your business won't have credit, a bank will most likely give you a credit card if you request it with a pretty reasonable limit. No bank is going to see an individual making $600,000 a month and not push them to get a business account. They're not going to upgrade a student account to a premium account. And you probably wouldn't even be able to send that much money through a student account. And this is what I'm saying about Vincent. He's still faking it until he makes it. We never see any receipts of anything. There's no picture or video of him in a bank, even though he records everything else. Why does bro have a student checking account? Exactly. It doesn't make any sense. Bro found the infinite money glitch. He did not. That is no money glitch. If anything, if this whole story is real, the bank is talking about giving him a loan. That's not a money glitch. That's a loan that you have to pay back. But it's not real anyway. It's all made up. Yeah, what bank is this? It's an imaginary bank in his brain because none of this story happened. Let me guess, you an F student, which goes back to the other hilarious alpha male, King Azulayer, however you say his name, talking about how F students are the leaders and inventors.
You see, an A student is the perfect employee. He works for me and he does his job perfectly. A B student, now that's my manager. My managers are great, but they're always going to be managers. The C students, now those are business owners. D is between a business owner and an inventor. It's someone that owns a business, but truly wants to invent something, he just doesn't know how to do it. The F students are inventors. They're creators. They're so fucking creative that they couldn't sit in class. They couldn't listen. because whatever people were trying to put in their head, they knew it was fucking bullshit. So if you're a young boy and you're in a situation where you're an F student, let me tell you something. You got a bright future, buddy.
This is an average day. This is not a shoot. Up to 60K today without crack.
This nigga just said, if you're an F student, you got a bright future ahead of you, buddy. Now, I don't want to tell you if you're an F student that you don't have a bright future ahead of you. You could still have a very bright future, young man, young lady, young whoever you may be. But I don't think we want to encourage people to get Fs so that they can be considered great. I don't know how this works. Cause you know there's gonna be some smart dumb motherfucker that's gonna hear this shit and they gonna be making bees and go, I don't wanna always be a manager. And I don't wanna work for that nigga forever. So I don't wanna work harder here to get better grades so I can work for that nigga forever. Yeah. Just be an F student. I got a bright future ahead of me. What the fuck? No.
And a smile. Not because I'm ungrateful, but because I am who I am.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
And this is what I'm talking about, right? This is supposed to be like his proof of concept of him just saying he made $60,000 in a day. But we never see receipts. It's just him posting about it and people believe in it. And again, you see the point of all this at the bottom. DM me mentor for online coaching membership. It's all a grift, a scam, a hustle. Just because you lease a car or pay for a ride does not mean you're rich. It does not mean he's making any of the money he says he's making. You can put all of that on debt. Do not believe these grifters. This whole lifestyle is to sell people the idea that they can get rich like him by buying into his course, even though he's not rich. Now he says he's making $250,000 a week.
Oh, from every repetitive task. I don't drive anymore if I don't want to. I don't walk my dog if I don't want to. I don't cook my own food. I don't make my own coffee. I don't really do anything. As soon as you get rich, your number one goal should be buying your time back. And then you can use that clarity and that mental space that you have to continue to grow more. I came home, I was being driven in the Phantom, bro. I come home, I see my SVJ, I see the Urus. I noticed there's a boot on my girl's Urus, bro, the one I bought for her. And I was just laughing at it. We drive up, my driver's laughing too. And we go to the valet area and he's like, hey man, $80. I was like, $80. I was like, okay, here, And he's walking me to take off the boot. And he's like, man, you should have parking spots. You should have this. What's going on, man? I was like, I fucking bought this car for my girl.
This is either a 100% made up story or him again getting exposed for not having the money that he says he has. Are you telling me you're going to buy $100,000 cars but not parking spaces? This dude is just a fool, liar, and idiot.
But the biggest inconvenience to me getting a boot on my car isn't paying the $80. It's walking to go take it off. Like, that's the level of money you get to where you're making so much cash that your human hours.
Does anyone think that money is real? And is the gun supposed to make him look cool?
First of all, if that money is real, it's illegal to light money on fire. So he would be filming himself in several batches. So first of all, film yourself with the money that niggas want, all right? So you're setting yourself up to be robbed. You are a lick. Second of all, you're lighting the money on fire, proving that you don't give a fuck about it. You have fuck you money. You have I don't give a fuck money. You have I have so much money I don't give a fuck about you money type shit. Further prompting niggas to rob you. All right, stay with me. You're lighting it up. Now the feds can see this. Again, like I said, this is illegal. Then you have a money trail doing illegal things. For no reason, bro. Nobody told this nigga to post this shit. That's all I'm trying to get y'all to understand. This nigga is doing this shit on his own. He brought it upon himself to post this shit. Nobody else. Nobody told this nigga to post this shit at all. Okay.
Or tough or gangster with a fucking with a fucking perm in his head. This dude is a fucking goofball.
Or too much for little tasks. Like, I'm a big advisor. When you start making money, bro, remove yourself from every repetitive task. I don't drive anymore if I don't want to. I don't walk my dog if I don't want to. I don't cook my own food. I don't make my own coffee. I don't really do anything. As soon as you get rich, your number one goal should be buying your time back. And then you can use that clarity and that mental space that you have to continue to grow more.
Automating your life and putting menial tasks on autopilot is not a Vincent Fisher concept. You don't have to be rich to do it. It's a whole book about it called 4-Hour Workweek. It literally just talks about automating all these little things in your life so that you have more time to be creative or apply your energy to business. If anything, he's just talking about being lazy because there are some things that you should be doing yourself. In my book, Vincent Fisher is not only the cringiest alpha male out there, but he's also one of the worst simply because his age. He's like 20, 21, 22, which means younger people believe him. They believe the bullshit that he's spewing, which is 100% fake and false. If you actually even know a little bit about business or finance, then you know he doesn't know what he's talking about. And he's just kind of making it up as he goes to just make himself sound smarter, more experienced, like a real business person. It's all a grift. And Vincent has actually escalated from the last time I talked about him. Because like I said, now he's putting fictitious numbers out there that he's making to sell even more people on his lifestyle and his coaching programs. I honestly still don't think this dude has any real money, or at least not the money that he says he does. Maybe he is making sales on his coaching program by younger people believing the hype, but he is not a millionaire. He is not rich. He is not that guy.
You're not that guy, pal.
He is just like every other alpha male selling the lifestyle to sell courses to actually afford the lifestyle that he's selling. Don't believe the hype. Do not buy these courses, coaching programs, or memberships. They're all fake and they don't give you any good advice that you can't find yourself on Google or for free on YouTube. But thanks for watching. Y'all let me know what you think about this. And if you want to see a video on anybody else, let me know in the comments.
Once again, I appreciate y'all. Overall, I'm still cutting the grass, man. But look y'all, I appreciate y'all. If you made it this far at the end of the video, you are a millionaire. So don't get locked in, twin, because you now with the tribe. You know what I mean? So let's slide. And we on the road to 1K, man. So let's look alive. Hey, share the page, like, share, subscribe. I like y'all. Peace.